So about 2 months after the release of Football Manager 2021, I kind of found myself in a situation where I just, I wasn't enjoying the game as much as I normally do. And it got to a point where I was like, I need to do something. So I went back to my trusty old faithful, and that is a good old building a nation save, my favourite type of save in Football Manager. And yeah, I've played one full season, so I thought, you know what? Why not make a video out of it? Something new, something different, and hopefully something that's going to be quite entertaining. So without further ado, here is my Season 1 review of my Building a Nation save with Banik Ostrava. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. How's it going, guys? My name is Jakefog and welcome to my Season 1 review of my Building a Nation save with Banik Ostrava in the Czech Republic. Now, some of you may already know what's actually happened in this save because I have actually been tweeting out like live updates of this save as it's been going on. That was kind of my initial, not initial reasoning, obviously I explained my initial reasoning for the save in the intro, but I kind of thought, you know what, why not live tweet about it, something different that I've never really done before. I see people doing it on Twitter quite a lot, so I thought I'd give it a go, and it obviously has resulted in this video. So if you do want to keep up to date with how this series is going, please do be sure to go follow me on Twitter. It's at Jakefog. There will be a link in the description down below, and as always, if you do enjoy this video, please do be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here and you do enjoy the video. Feel free to check out any of my other stuff if you do fancy it. But without further ado, let's talk about the save. So when I first started this save, I set out myself some pretty clear goals, 5 of which I think are pretty achievable, and then 2 that are kind of like little side goals I'd quite like to complete, but I'm not necessarily actively looking to complete. So first up, become the best team in the Czech Republic. Banik Ostrava, they're not the top team in the Czech Republic, but they are up there. Obviously, there are like the 3 main Czech Republic teams, Slavia Prague, Victoria Pilsen and Sparta Prague, which I will talk a little bit more about later on in the video. So I didn't want to start right in the lower depths, second, third tier of Czech football, and kind of work my way up. And then obviously you get to the top league, then you have to become competitive, then you want to become the top team. I kind of wanted to go in with a team that already were pretty good, had a decent foundation for me to build on, which is why I've chosen Banik Ostrava. But again, more about that a little bit later on in the video. So yeah, my first goal is to become the best team in the Czech Republic. Obviously, basically be winning the league every single season. I think that is the first goal that I need to look at, and hopefully that won't take me too long. Then my second goal is to max out both the youth and the training facilities, and obviously alongside that I have my academy coaching and youth recruitment at the best that they can be, because obviously this isn't just about Banik Ostrava, it's a building a nation save, so I want to be able to pull up the Czech Republic with me as well. So obviously by me maxing out my facilities, I think it'll then kind of put pressure on the other teams to kind of increase their facilities as well, and also having the max facilities available to me means that obviously I can bring through better youngsters from the Czech Republic and hopefully pull up the general ranking of the nation and hopefully the league as well. And the third goal, pretty straightforward one, win the Champions League. It's basically the pinnacle for any European club, and well, yeah, it's got to be one of the main goals. And then in line with, the whole building a nation side of things, I want to try and make the Fortuna Liga the most reputable league in the world. Now, I don't know how easy this is going to be. I can't remember exactly whereabouts the league is ranked at the moment. Obviously, you've got the top 5. You've got the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A and Liga 1. I don't know how easy it will be to break into that top 5. So yeah, but that's what building a nation's all about. It's not only, like I said when I was talking about matching out my youth and training facilities, it's about trying to help out the other teams in the league as well. So obviously, if I can bring through some really good youngsters that are fantastic but not quite good enough for my team, I can send them out on loan to the league, even to some of my direct rivals, and hopefully it'll give them a hand in Europe. It'll increase the coefficient, and then in turn that'll increase the reputation of the league. I've never really, I've never I've never got quite that far in a building a nation save before, and I don't really know how difficult it is, but I've seen it done. So hopefully I can do that. And then finally, in my kind of main goals, I want to have the best Czech player to come through my academy. When you go and look at a nation and it gives you the key players, I want the top key player to be a player that's come through my academy. Hopefully, it'll be a player that stays with me throughout the entire save. But you know what the likes of PSG are like. As soon as you get a decent wonder kid, they just come sniffing around. It's like sharks in it, or vultures circling, trying to take all of my wonder kids off me. And I'll just be like, you can have this Danish kid, you can have this Brazilian kid, but please stay away from my little Czech babies. I probably shouldn't call them my little Czech babies. That's a little bit weird, but you know what I mean. To have the best Czech player come through my academy, I think will be a fantastic achievement, and hopefully they'll spend their entire career with us, but it's going to be tough to keep hold of them. So now the next two goals are kind of like little side goals, so I've put them in italic just so it's there's a little bit of a difference between the two. My main goals and my side goals. So the first one is to build a competitive starting 11 of purely academy graduates. This not necessarily to be my my starting 11 every single week, or to even be a starting 11 at all. I just want to be able to field an entire team of players from the Czech Republic, not necessarily from the Czech Republic, an entire 11 of players that have come through my academy and basically be good enough to hold their own in the league. Obviously, my main focus, hopefully in a few seasons, will be like on the Champions League, and then I can use the league to kind of give younger players more of an opportunity. But the idea of being able to field an entire 11 in the league made up of players that have come purely from the academy, it's just something that I think would be really, really cool. I don't know how easy it's going to be to do. I don't think it'll be that easy. I mean, I could quite easily field an 11 of players that have come through my academy, but I suppose the key term I've used here is competitive. I want them to be players that are like they're good enough to play in the first team, and if I can do that, that'll be quite nice. It's not really something I've ever done before. And then finally, well, like I said, it's a building a nation save, so surely you've got to try and manage the Czech Republic to a World Cup win. Hopefully, with plenty of players that have come through my own academy as well. I just think, it would be really, really fun to not only manage the best team in the Czech Republic, but to also manage the Czech Republic and hopefully then be one of the best nations in the world. And I don't think I've ever actually won a World Cup on Football Manager, so I don't know how how this is going to go. I don't even know if I'll be able to get the Czech Republic job, but hopefully I can, and hopefully the World Cup. It would be nice, or even the Euro. I'd even take the Euros, but obviously the World Cup is the pinnacle. But anyway, that's my kind of goals for the save out of the way, and let's kind of get actually properly into it and talk about what's happened throughout the season, and let's see how our first season went. But actually, before I do fully dive into the season, I need to talk a little bit about why Banik Ostrava. So you'll see the facilities starting off at the start of the season. Training facilities and youth facilities are both great, and also the academy coaching and the youth recruitment are both good. So starting off, it's a really good kind of foundation to build on, a really good kind of starting block. And this is like, I said how I didn't want to start at the very depths. I wanted to kind of give myself a good chance straight from the off, but I didn't want to go for the top teams, because then I do think it is a little bit boring. At least gives me something to kind of overcome first, like an initial hurdle to start with before going on to be the outright best team in the league. So the facilities a really, really good starting point. And then in the club vision, you'll see in the club culture, we've actually got develop players using the club's youth system, which is absolutely perfect, fine by me. It's something that I do on the regular anyway. But also you'll see in the 5-year plan, we've got develop the best youth system in the country, which again ties in perfectly with how I want to play this save. And then also you'll see in the 5-year plan at the end of the current season, we've got continue being recognised as the best of the rest. And now if we just have a little look at the season preview at the start of the year, you can see there's a big divide between the top three and third place and fourth, I guess, or the top three and fourth. So you've got Slavia Prague, Victoria Pilsen and Sparta Prague. they're all, they're head and shoulders above the rest, really. Then you got Jablanek in fourth. No idea if I'm pronouncing that right. There's probably going to be lots of names and clubs that I butcher, so I do apologise. If you know how to pronounce them, feel free to correct me in the comments section. Jablanek in fourth at 20-1, and then we've got ourselves and 3 others from 5th down to 8th at 33-1. So you can see straight away that's got to be the initial goal, to be the best of the rest. So with such a big focus on youth development, I feel like a good place to start is by talking about a couple of my my top youth prospects. There are 2, and the first one is this guy, Andrei Kukuchka. A 17-year-old centre-back, was obviously 16 at the start of the season. Wasn't quite good enough to feature in the first team, so I did send him out on loan for the second half of the season. He's in the league below, and you can see 10 appearances, 6.7 average rating, not too shabby, but you can see 5-star potential, and hopefully this guy can go on to be a really key part of our team. And I've got high hopes for him, but he's not really going to be someone that we'll see much of this season. And then also we've got this guy, Jakub Drozd. And now this guy, I'm a little bit more excited about, just because already you can see his current ability is a little bit higher. And I did use him a little bit this season, 4 starts and 5 appearances. And 5 appearances off the bench in all competitions. So he's getting some first team football, and again, just 17 years old. And you can see he's improving. He's a little bit better, 2.5 stars current ability according to my scouts. So this guy is someone that hopefully you'll be seeing every single year in these kind of end of season reviews. But let's talk about the transfer history. So these are kind of the deals that we did, and you'll see there's a few from Manchester City actually that saw them by date, because where was it? This is actually where I came in. So you can see I didn't actually make many transfer dealings myself. So one of the first things that I did, I thought, you know what, let's try and get ourselves a decent parent club. I said to the board, I think we need a parent club. And they came back with Manchester City. So pretty much straight away, I got this guy on loan, Adria Bernabei. Fantastic. He's been playing as a central midfielder, mostly as a mezzala, although I have started using him a little bit more in the advanced playmaker role as an attacking midfielder. And he's done well. You can see he's been a very regular fixture in the side. And then the second player, again on loan from Manchester City, you may have heard of this guy as well, Taylor Harwood Bellis, 19-year-old English centre-back. And for this level, is fantastic. You can see 7.06 average rating across the whole season. I'm hoping that I can get all my Manchester City players back on next season as well. We only made one permanent transfer, Thomas Wiesner, a right back. Signed him from, was it Sparta? Yeah, signed him from Sparta for just 87,000, potentially rising to 105,000. And I did actually initially sign this guy to be kind of right back competition, a little bit of a backup sort of player. But he ended up nailing down the starting right back role, and yeah, pretty happy. And now this guy, what a player, Tommy Doyle. We only actually got this guy on loan for the second half of the season, but you can see from his average ratings, 7.21 in 14 appearances in the league. He has been absolutely fantastic. And again, hopefully I can keep him next season. But, I mean, it's going to be tough. And, I'm sure you're all curious by now, whereabouts did we finish in the league? Let's just get it out of the way. We finished 4th pretty comfortably, to be honest. You can see 6 points ahead of Bohemians Prague. Bohemians Prague. I never know whether to say Praha or Prague. Obviously, I call it Prague. I don't know. That's not important in this video, but we have qualified for the Europa Conference 2. You can see, I think Sparta and Slavia both go into the Champions League. And then I think the winner of the Cup goes into the Europa League, and if the winner of the Cup is any of the top 3, it just goes to 3rd place, and then 4th and 5th will get Europa Conference League 2. So yeah, we're in that next season, at the end of the season, because we'd already secured this position. I think with 3 games left, we were 10 points ahead of 5th, so there was we couldn't go any lower. So I just kind of I just played a load of kids, really. Just gave some youngsters some first-team football. Wasn't bothered about the results because, well, we couldn't go anywhere. And it was a good opportunity to kind of blood a few youngsters. And then in the Cup, I think we got to the semi-final, did we? Yeah, we got to the semi-final and we lost on penalties. And this was this was ridiculous. It got to the ninth penalty takers. Before a winner was decided. I mean, we had it in our hands, you see, going into the 5th penalty. We were in the lead. All we needed to do was score that penalty and we were home and dry. He missed. And then they missed and I was like, great. Howard Bellis missed. And then it got down to Jirasek, the 9th taker. And we lost, unfortunately. So let's talk briefly about the schedule. So you can see, we actually started our reign as manager fantastically. 2 games in the Cup, 5 games in the league, and we won them all. Admittedly, the 2 Cup games were against amateur sides, so it wasn't quite as exciting as it really looks. But even then, we didn't lose. Well, we lost once in the league to Sparta Prague away from home, 5-2, unsurprisingly, and then we didn't lose again until we played Slavia Prague, again one of the big 3. And we lost to them, unfortunately, and then Slovan Liberec beat us before the winter break. But going into the winter break, we were sitting pretty. We'd only lost 3 games all season, and I was kind of thinking we might be able to catch up with Slavia Prague. And then we came back off the winter break, and we were fantastic again. I mean, look at that little run of fixtures: 1 draw, and what's that? 6 wins. One of those being in the Cup. But then this little period here in the league. Draw, loss, and obviously the draw against Sparta Prague and the loss against Pilsen was kind of like the nail in the coffin for our 3rd place hopes. But to be honest, throughout the entire season, it was looking pretty comfortable, and we looked good. We played really, really well. In terms of the tactic that I deployed, this is what it was. Feel free to pause it and have a little look, but yeah, it worked really, really well. Positive. Those are our instructions in possession, obviously with no wingers. Very important for me to kind of get the wing backs involved. I've got them both on complete wing back attack, and yeah, they were pretty solid. So I got overlap on both of them in transition. Counter press, counter distribute quickly. I've got the keeper distribute it to the playmaker. I probably will change that because it didn't work particularly well. A lot of the time, he just ended up hoofing it forward to the strikers because the playmaker was marked. So I might change that for next season. Have a look at it. Then out of possession, standard line of engagement, high defensive line, standard width, not which, and more urgent on the pressing. So that's the tactic that I've used, and to be fair, it's worked. It's worked really well. I've got no individual player instructions on or anything. Pretty solid. And let's talk about my under-19s, because obviously players coming through the youth academy, incredibly important. And now actually the best player to come through my youth academy, I've been given some games. It's this guy, David Pillick, 15-year-old centre-back, actually became the youngest ever player to feature for Banik Ostrava. Looks pretty solid, to be fair. In terms of the attributes that you want, he's relatively well rounded. You can see all that the attributes that I highlighted for a centre defender. His strength needs a little bit of work. His passing needs a little bit of work, because I do like a nice ball playing centre back. But his passing and technique aren't really there. So I think I've got him working on that in training. But at only 15 years old, 5-star potential. I'm hoping that this guy can be a bit of a superstar for us really in the future. Hopefully the first of many off the Banik Ostrava Youth Academy conveyor belt. But then in terms of everyone else, this guy was the next best. Marek Banat, decent little holding midfielder, to be fair. Lots to be worked on. 4-star potential. So I think Tommy Doyle at the moment is currently a 4-star current ability player, and he's my best player. So I mean, if he can get to the quality of Tommy Doyle, he might not necessarily be an absolute superstar, but he might get a few games here and there for the Czech Republic, and then hopefully I can send him off to another team in the league, and hopefully he'll improve them. So apart from that, I don't think I got a really wide range of players. I think there was a goalkeeper that came through that was quite good. Apparently not Bruno Alves. I remember him being one of the better ones, but again, he's not great. 3-star potential ability. Annoyingly, this guy. I completely lost my train of thought here. This guy didn't sign a new contract with me, and he's leaving. He's got 5-star potential. A little bit annoying. He rejected my contract offer, and then he's signing for these guys. They finished 13th. What? Why did you sign for them? Why did you leave me? Why did you have to do that? But it's annoying to lose him. He actually looked a really, really good player. I didn't realise that his contract was expiring, to be honest, and then when I did, it was too late, and he didn't want to sign for me. So that is pretty heartbreaking. But in terms, again, going back to the regens, I think this guy is considered the next best in terms of potential. He's okay. He's not great. 3-star potential ability. Again, these players could develop into kind of players that are good enough for this level, but by the time they do get to that level, I'm hoping that we will be way above and beyond the level that we are at right now. So, unfortunately, not the best crop of youngsters in the first kind of youth intake, but it is what it is. At least we've got one player that hopefully will become very, very good. But our finances are a little bit of a worry. We've just been losing money all season. Don't really know why. We've not got we're way under our wage budget. I've barely spent any money on transfers. And frustrating. Very, very frustrating. And I think that just about covers everything. I've never done a video like this. I don't know what to cover, what not to cover. Actually, I know what I need to cover. The best players, Daniel Holzer. Let's talk about this guy for a moment. I looked at signing a new left-back at the start of the series, and do I feel stupid? 7.33 average rating, won my player of the season. He was absolutely fantastic. In the first half of the season, his average rating in the league was something like 7.5, and he was just streets ahead of absolutely everybody. He was unbelievable, but he did pick up an injury. I think he was out for quite a while, actually. Where is it? Was he out for a fair bit? Yeah, he was out for 3 weeks with tendonitis. He picked that up just before the winter break, and then he was out for 3 weeks with fractured ribs. And after that kind of knee tendonitis injury, he wasn't quite as good as he was beforehand. He never really kind of got back to proper full fitness because he got a small injury, then obviously he got that other 3-week injury. He was never really back to full fitness until getting on towards the end of the season. So we didn't really see the best of him in the second half of the season. But hopefully plenty more to come from this guy, unless we're forced to sell him because we don't have any money left. And then after that, I already mentioned him, Tommy Doyle. What a player. What a signing he turned out to be. I've not tried to get any of them back on loan yet. I'm hoping that I can, but I'm worried about Tommy Doyle. I'd be very surprised if City let us have him back. Svursdil was actually one of my higher rated players, even though he was my second choice centre-back. Not even second choice centre-back, third choice centre-back behind Stranati. I think his name is in Harwood Bellis. But decent little player. Stranati, this guy is fantastic. He is a great centre-back. Really, really happy with him, and he performed really, really well. 7.11 across all competitions, 7.08 in the league. Picked up his first Czech Republic caps this season as well. Then we've got Patokny, our top goal scorer, so I'll talk about a little bit in a moment. And then Taylor Harwood Bellis. So top goal scorer, Roman Patokny, 21 goals in the league, 9 of which were penalties. There was one game where I got 3 penalties in the space of half an hour. It was a little bit ridiculous. He scored them all, thankfully. But this guy, really, really good. I think he's more naturally a winger, but obviously we don't play with wingers. So, he kind of came in, did a very, very good job scoring 24 goals in all competitions. And now this guy was a kind of an unexpected, superstar almost for me. Mohamed Tiani. He wasn't on my radar at all. I had no real intention of using him this season, and I had a couple of injuries, and I was kind of forced to play someone. And it just seems whenever he played, he just scored goals, especially at the start of the season. It was ridiculous. Let's see if I can find, does his form, his form doesn't quite go back all that far, but you can see his goals dried up just a little bit, but he scored 13 goals in all competitions. A lot of them came in the first half of the season. I mean, there's only 4 goals on there in the last 20 games, 4 of which he wasn't selected for. So yeah, a lot of his goals came at the start of the season, and he was fantastic, to be fair. Really, really, really good unexpected player to do as well as he did. And then Nemanja Kuzmanovic, my best not my best attacking midfielder. I'll talk about my actual best attacking midfielder in just a moment. But 9 goals, 6 assists from attacking midfield. Very, very good. His average ratings weren't great though, which is one of them ones where when he turned up, he really turned up. But when he was just a little bit off the boil, it was really, really obvious, and he really, really struggled. So that is a position that I may want to look at strengthening next season. And the reason that I say he's technically not my best attacking midfielder at the club, let me see, where are they? Did I put him into the B team? Where is he? Where is he? Jablonek, he's here, I think. Where is he? Robert Hruby. This guy was on loan at one of my main rivals in the division for the entire season, and I couldn't recall him. I tried, I was unable to recall him from his loan. He couldn't be recalled, and he's one of my best players. So I'm not really sure what the board were thinking before I took over loaning this guy out. Obviously, it's a move that was done in real life. I'm sure there was reason for it in real life. But yeah, really annoying that I haven't been able to use him. But I'm pretty excited to be able to use him next season. So yeah, top goal scorer this season was Potokny, and then the player of the season was Daniel Holzer. And yeah, I'm feeling good about this season. Well, the season all in all, and I'm feeling good about next season as well. I'm hoping that I can really strengthen in the transfer window. One thing that I've started doing is I've started putting together a short list of some of the best Czech youngsters, players that I would like to try and sign. Like this guy, not too bad at 16 years old. This guy as well, 15 years old. Looks pretty good. Decent potential about him. You can't see it there. I think they're all like, it's not. Oh yeah, 5-star potential for him. And then this guy as well, a centre back, will be a nice partner for Pilik. I'm going to try work my magic, get some of these guys in. But there's one guy that I am desperate to sign, and it's this guy right here. 15 years old. 15 years old. Look at him. Look at him. I mean, he's unbelievable. He is absolutely unbelievable. He might be a little bit out of my price range given our finances, but if I can only sign one player and I have to blow my entire budget, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm not scared to do it. I'm a little bit scared to do it, but I just need to sign this guy so badly. But I think that just about covers absolutely everything that I did want to cover. So hopefully you have enjoyed this video. It's been a little bit different from anything that I've ever done before. So if you have enjoyed, please do be sure to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And I'll catch you in the next season update.
What we do here is go back. Loud.